Well, the Wrigley Field Concourse is the place to be right now. Just anywhere you can grab some cover. We will start under a rain delay today as the Cubs are hosting the Houston Astros to kick off a 3-game weekend series. It's the Hyundai leadoff man on WGN Sports. And hi again, everyone. I'm Len Casper. Welcome to the Hyundai leadoff man. The rain shouldn't be around for a whole lot longer, so we hope to get this thing underway within the next hour or so. And the Astros are here. This is one of the final series the Cubs will play against the Astros, with Houston being in the National League. They will go to the American League West next year, including today. Still 12 games to go in this season series, but this one dates back 50 years to 1962. And one thing you learn about the numbers there, and well, the Cubs playing all those home games at Wrigley Field, most of those games in Houston coming at a pitcher-friendly park, the old Astrodome. So we have more to come on the leadoff man, but we want to remind you it is brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata at myhyundaichicago.com. 70, your home for the most live sports.
Time to take a look at today's Mazda drive to victory, and what the Cubs need to do today is get Paul Mulholland back on track. Had a stretch earlier this season where he won 4 consecutive starts, has fallen on some hard times lately. Need to get him back on track. And for the Astros, they're definitely no road warriors. Only 9 road victories this season, lowest in the majors. They need to find a way to win away from Minute Maid Park. Drive to Victory is brought to you by your local Chicagoland Mazda dealers. See your Chicagoland Mazda dealers for a test drive today at driveamazda.com.
And we want to let our AT&T UVerse viewers in Chicago and around the country on WGN America know that during every Cubs home game this season, if you go to channel 780 or high definition channel 1780, you can see a special multi-view presentation that shows you all our different live camera angles here at Wrigley Field. It's pretty cool. So if you want to direct the game along with Skip Ellison, give a look to AT&T UVerse channel 780 or HD channel 1780. Get the umpires. The crew chief is Tim Welke. Back at the plate, Laz Diaz, Mike Everett, and Paul Schreiber on the bases. So our delay will end up being just under an hour. And how about that, Bob? 75 degrees. The readout in my car yesterday said 110 sitting in the sun. The cold front.
Yeah, very comfortable afternoon here after the showers that blew through briefly right before the regularly scheduled game time. But it looks like we should be okay to get this one in with no problems.
Take another look at today's starting pitchers. Bud Norris was on the DL with a sprained left knee. This will be his first start in 17 days. Has been excellent against the Cubs, and Paul Mulholland has faced the Astros a lot in his career. Now the Houston Astros starting lineup. They got to their hotel around 3 a.m. this morning after a night game in Houston. Brian Bixler's at short. Brian Bogusevic, Chicago area native, in right. Carlos Lee always does well against the Cubs. Martinez in left. Chris Snyder, the catcher. Chris Johnson's at third. Matt Downs in for Jose Altuve at second. Jordan Schaefer's a center fielder, and Bud Norris is the pitcher.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today behind Paul Mulholland. Brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Soriano, De Jesus, and LaHare left to right across the outfield this afternoon. It'll be Valbuena and Castro on the left side of the infield. Barney and Rizzo on the right side. Steve Clevenger doing the catching today for left-hander Paul Mulholland. He had a stretch at the end of April, beginning of May, when he cranked off 4 consecutive victories and looked very impressive in doing so. Hasn't won a game since May 9th against the Atlanta Braves. Had a string of losses and no decisions. Some he's pitched well enough to win, others not so much.
Only matinee. Everything else around the big leagues is later tonight. And we should note tomorrow's game is a 3 o'clock Central Time start right here on WGN. Northwestern alum Jay Happ, the lefty, will face right-hander Matt Garza. Here's Brian Bixler, the starting double play combo for the Astros, not in the lineup. Jose Altuve, the second baseman, hasn't played since injuring himself on Sunday. He has a strained hamstring. And Jed Lowry off to an excellent start at short. Not in the lineup today either. He's a switch hitter. Bixler gets the start.
And Lowry's been a pleasant surprise, at least as far as the power numbers go for the Houston Astros. 14 home runs on the season.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 55 minutes for the rain delay. Paul Mulholland only needs 19 more to tie that Kerry Wood performance in '98. Probably not fair that we played that before any starting pitching performance. One of the best of all time.
Well, especially for a guy who's not really known as a strikeout pitcher. Paul Maholm, when he's at his best, gets early contact, lazy ground balls, lazy fly balls.
Ryan Bogusevic takes ball one. Went to Tulane, but born in Oak Lawn, Illinois. Attended De La Salle Institute here in Chicago. 24th overall pick in the 2005 draft. Converted pitcher. Went to the outfield in 2008. And the 1-1 is a curveball low and outside. Maholm working quickly. 3-1. Carlos Lee waiting on deck. Pretty straight fastball, and Bogusevic swung right through it. 3-2. The season series still in its infant stages, so to speak. Game 4 of 15 between the Cubs and Astros. Houston swept the Cubs in May at Minute Maid Park. Swing and a miss. A little inspiration for Maholm today with our rain delay coverage.
Well, nobody will ever confuse Kerry Wood's fastball with Paul Maholm's, but he's used it effectively here in the early going. He threw the last two right by Brian Bogusevic on the inside part of the plate. Maybe a little extra zip on that fastball.
Well, the Astros offensively with 12 homers and 12 doubles in their last 6 games. But remember, they were the victims of the Matt Cain perfect game back 16 days ago in San Francisco. First time the Astros had been no hit since Carlos Zambrano did it in 2008 in Milwaukee. 0-2 to Lee.
Boy, power numbers really down for El Caballo this year. You saw only 5 home runs after hitting only 18 last season as a member of the Astros. The batting average is up over his career average, and he's still a guy that walks more than he strikes out.
Busted him inside with a fastball. 1-2. Maholm with 11 wins against the Astros, the most he has against any other team. Change up outside. And the 2-2 on one bounce. Darwin Barney will get it to Rizzo in plenty of time. Rain delay didn't hurt Paul Maholm. Cubs coming up when we come back. By Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. DeJesus in center. Castro 16 knocks over his last 11. You've got Rizzo in his 3rd consecutive game with the Cubs. Soriano in left. Brian LaHare plays right. More lefties. Steve Clevenger catching. You've got right-handed hitting Darwin Barney at second. And lefties at the bottom. Valbuena and Mahalam.
Take a quick look at the Astros defensively this afternoon. J.D. Martinez in left, Jordan Schaefer in center, Brian Bogasevic over in right field. It'll be Chris Johnson, Brian Bixler, Matt Downs, and El Caballo, Carlos Lee. 3rd to 1st across the infield. Chris Snyder will be behind the plate today for David Stephon Norris. You can just call him Bud. See his numbers on the season, as Len mentioned, just back off the disabled list. Suffered from a strained knee, missed 3 starts. And taking the ball here this afternoon against the Cubs.
And as always, pitched well against the Cubs as he misses to DeJesus, ball 1.
Fastball slider changeup combination from Bud Norris. Uses his changeup sparingly.
High in the air, Schaefer with lots of room. Norris beat the Cubs in Houston on May 21st. 7 shutout innings, 5 hits, struck out 8. He is a strikeout pitcher, about 1 per inning in his career.
Yeah, since that victory over the Cubs, he's had 4 starts before going on the disabled list, lost 3 of those and no decision in another.
Fastball for a strike on Castro. His next off day will probably come, I don't know when, because he may find out in 2 days he's made the All-Star team again. He has started every game. Couldn't hold. As Diaz made the call at first. So here comes Rizzo with 2 outs.
I'm guessing that gentleman rooting for the Astros.
That man needs a napkin. Somebody please help.
Or the rest of his shirt sleeve, something.
Rizzo takes a fastball away, ball 1. Enjoyed you breaking down the mechanics of his swing from the end of last year to this year. All about the hands and the feet.
Especially the hands. I mean, the route that his bat takes to the hitting zone now is much quicker, much more direct, which allows him to wait a little bit longer to identify pitches. He's always had a swing that produces line drives to all parts of the field, so that should really benefit him up here at the major league level. You want to watch how quick a guy's swing is, or how long and slow a guy's swing is. Just watch the end of his bat, from where it starts and how long it takes and what path does it take to get to the hitting zone.
Still 2-2. Close. Astros thought it was strike 3. Instead, a full count, 3-2. That's a strike. It just wasn't caught like a strike.
Yeah, because Snyder had set up on the inside corner, had to reach back across the plate to receive that pitch. Rizzo will take ball 4.
So a 2-out free pass to bring up Alfonso Soriano. Well, these things are major league firsts for Anthony Rizzo. In fact, when he connects for his first Cub home run, it will be the second of his career. That's his first Cub walk. Soriano pulls one foul on the ground. Continues to lead the National League with 14 homers since May 15th. Hard to believe he went the first 30 games without one. Make sure you keep in touch. You can email us at LennonBob@Tribune.com. Also follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. A little bit high. 2-1. Flag's not moving at all. Very calm at the moment. When we started officially, a southeast wind at 8 miles an hour. That would be the proverbial crosswind from right to left. Slider was high that time. 3-1. Up on the infield, and it's Matt Downs at second base, losing it in the sun. Everybody's safe. Sun may have just kind of popped out beneath the from beneath the clouds just as that ball went up in the air, and you see he's now wearing sunglasses, so the inning's still alive.
It was very dark here at Wrigley Field earlier this afternoon before the rains came, but that sun is starting to peek through that hazy, bright sunshine, and Downs really struggling. Looked like he never had a beat on that ball. Tries to make the basket catch, but really had no idea where that ball was. That'll go as an infield hit for Alfonso Soriano. Make it hurt.
First and third for LaHare. Well, Iowa Cubs outfielder Dave Chappelle just tweeted a shot of the iCubs clubhouse. They've got the game on the big screen. We want to say hi to them. They take on Oklahoma City today. Missed outside. 1-1. Hard hit ground ball. Bixler up with it, and he'll get the out. Inning extended on that infield pop-up. Cubs leave 2. In the lineup today, nice tag as J.D. Martinez nailed Alexei Amarista in the ninth inning in a 1-0 Houston lead. 2 nights ago, the Astros would hold on to a 1-0 victory. Xfinity Home offers state-of-the-art features that help you stay connected to your home and family anytime and anywhere. So Chris Snyder protecting home for the Astros, and Starlin Castro protecting Paul Maholm there as he throws out Martinez.
Yeah, the real key to that play for Chris Snyder, obviously had to come off the plate to catch the throw, but went straight back to home plate. Didn't go out after the runner. He went to where the runner was going to be eventually, was able to apply that tag and keep the run off the board.
Well, Snyder facing a former Pirate battery mate. Thought about a bunt with the infield back. Instead took a strike. There's Brad Mills. 3rd season as the Astros manager. Brad was pretty happy about University of Arizona, his alma mater, winning the College World Series. He was Terry Francona's roommate in 1979 at the U of A. And at one time was a minor league manager in the Cubs organization, late 80s, early 90s.
Brad Mills in somewhat of a similar situation to Dale Swaim in that when he took over the Astros, he knew it was going to be a while before they were competitive again. Ball chopped as Castro at shortstop, should be no problem. And by all reports, Brad Mills getting high marks not only from his own organization but from the players who play under him. So I believe Brad Mills is going to be given a lot of rope over there in Houston until they can get their franchise turned around.
Well, last year they had the worst record in baseball and the worst record in Astros history, 106 losses. That was their first 100 loss campaign ever.
That sounds bad when you say it that way, Len, but I think if you talk to a lot of baseball people, they'd say that was probably better than people expected from that Astros ball club last year. They were really undermanned, had a lot of injury problems.
2-0 on the 3rd baseman, Chris Johnson. Fans checking out the action through the knothole in right field. Line to Soriano, hit hard, but 4 and out. 6 up, 6 down for Maholm to start it.
season on WGN TV is brought to you by Budweiser Select. Full flavor, 99 calories, the exception to the rule.
Nice respite here from the extreme heat yesterday, and actually some much needed rain. It only pushed us back 55 minutes before the first pitch. Here's Steve Clevenger, the catcher, leading off the Cubs second. He takes a fastball for a strike. Clevenger, 42 at bats at Wrigley Field, hitting .476. High 2 bouncer to Downs for the out. Notice Matt Downs is wearing his sunglasses now.
That old saying about closing the barn door after the horse runs away. Well, he wishes he had those shades on last inning.
Darwin Barney, 62 games and counting without an error. Over 509 innings dating back to mid-April. You know what? There was an error on April 17th in Miami. I think it was a pretty routine play that he didn't make, and I remember him a week later still ruining that error. And he hasn't made one since.
Yeah, it's not because he's shied away from anything either. Occasionally a guy can have a consecutive game streak without an error and realizes it's going on and doesn't make the same kind of effort for those borderline base hits / errors. But that's not the case with Darwin. He throws his body all over the field trying to make all the plays.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Looks like Norris doesn't have his fine command here early on. The slider is popped foul out of play to the right.
Way too early in the ball game to make a determination, but I really think that Anthony Rizzo at bat in the first inning. He got 2 quick outs. He was throwing strikes. He was getting his slider over the plate. Then Rizzo had that long at bat, ultimately drew the base on balls, getting Soriano to the plate. He reached on the infield pop up that dropped, and Norris had to throw a lot more pitches in that first inning than he thought he should have, and not as sharp here at all in the second inning.
Right field again, Bogusevic can't make the play. It looked like it actually grazed the side wall. It's a difficult area to make a catch. It'll be no play.
A good effort by Bogusevic right over against that side wall. His glove crashes into the wall about the same time the ball got there. No chance to make the play.
Astros were unable to take batting practice. The Cubs did, and then the tarp immediately went on the field right around 11. Another pop-up. And Downs handles this one.
But this is actually the kind of day you need these sunglasses, preferably the flip-down sunglasses, more so than on even a bright sunny day. Very hazy sky, and when the sun does peek out from behind the clouds, it's intensified. It makes you squint really hard when you're looking up into that hazy afternoon sun here at Wrigley.
Now Luis Valbuena. 13th start at third base. The Cubs not getting good news on Ian Stewart's left wrist. The cortisone shot he got recently just hasn't helped. So it may be a while. Here comes Norris with a 2-0. That one hammered out of the deep left center for Valbuena. Gone. 16th of his career. third is a Cub.
Third home run, 10th RBI as a member of the Cubs. He was carrying a .227 batting average going into play today. This is going to be our Nissan drive of the game. I'll tell you what, for a .227 batting average coming into play today, he's made a lot of very hard outs. He gets the barrel of the bat on the ball very consistently, hitting out of that 8th spot in the lineup.
Slugging well over 500. Paul Maholm homered in his last start.
As always, our drive of the game brought to you by Nissan. Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation. You can count on innovation for all.
Had a 2-run homer against Arizona to give the Cubs a short-lived lead. Could not get out of the bottom of that inning, however, as he hits a high pop-up. Caught by Bixler. Cubs lead on the Valbuena home run.
Swaim, log on to WGNTV.com right now and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more.
A couple of shout-outs. Peter Bonner is watching us in London, England today. And we want to wish Shirley Tyner, big Cub fan in Sterling, Illinois, happy 85th birthday. Also happy 90th to Robert Wolf in Port Charlotte, Florida, from Downers Grove, Illinois originally. On his 9th birthday in 1931, Robert went to Wrigley Field, stood in left field for 10 innings due to the overflow crowd. There were no bleachers back then. I don't think that's Pete Bonner, but that's where he's watching us from. Matt Downs fouls back. 0-2 the count. Mean two tapped it foul. Hey, Cub fans, make sure you check out our WGN Baseball blog on WGNTV.com. It's brought to you by Jeff Vukovich, nationwide agent serving the area for 33 years. You can contact Jeff at jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. We have a post on Rizzo Mania. We have game notes from Stats, photos as always. Check it out, WGNTV.com. Talked about the Astros getting in really late last night or early this morning. They had a bizarre game last night against the San Diego Padres as Downs gets hit by a 1-2 pitch. Leads off the inning. There would be no hit by Andrew Kashner, the former Cub, brought back from the minors in the Padres rotation. Into the seventh, Carlos Lee singled. Brian Bogusevic hit a 2-run homer. The Astros had a 3-1 lead in the ninth before San Diego played at 6 to win the game 7-3. Jordan Schaefer, the center fielder. He squares to bunt even though the pitcher Norris is on deck. Norris not a terrible hitter. He's hitting 182 to start the year. And that's a strike. Actually, Schaefer might have just been showing bunt just to affect that defensive alignment.
I think you're absolutely right. I mean, he will bunt for a base hit, whether the pitcher's hitting behind him or not. But I think more than anything else, he was just trying to draw in the corner infielders an extra step or two and then try to slap it past them. We see 5 bunt hits on the season, 12 infield hits, numbers similar to Tony Campana.
Lifted in the air down the left field line. Soriano will not get there in time. Little bobble, and the runners will hold. No error. It's a base hit, the first for Houston.
It looked bad because Soriano bobbled the ball after he finally got to it, but he really had no play on that ball. Backs off to play it on a hop. That's where it got a little bit interesting, but runners aren't able to take advantage of it. No error. Base hit to left field for Schaefer.
By the way, Soriano without an error so far this year, one of 3 major league left fielders to have at least 100 chances without an error. Jason Kubel, Dion Vicieto, the others. That's bunted foul by Norris.
I would assume the Cubs are just going to play a traditional bunt defense here with runners at first and second and the pitcher at the plate. And by that I mean the third baseman, Luis Valbuena, will read the bunt. If he thinks that Paul Maholm can get off the mound and make the play, he'll retreat to third base for a possible force out. If he doesn't think Maholm can make the play, it's incumbent upon him to come in and take the play at first base. Obviously an easier play for a left-handed throwing pitcher coming off that mound to the third base side of the field and then delivering the ball on to third base if they have a play.
Same for Rizzo at first. He bunts through it. Runner takes off for third. Out. Big mistake by Matt Downs. And a heads-up play by Clevenger and Valbuena. One away.
There might have been something missed in the chain of command there because the runner at first, Jordan Schaefer, did not go. Looked like almost a delayed steal by Matt Downs, but Clevenger with his head up, aware of the play the entire time, gets it on to Valbuena. Get that lead runner at third base, and Schaefer still over at first. Very odd base running play that time.
I think he did go late. I don't know if he just got such a big jump assuming the ball was going to be bunted and then decided just to keep on going. Norris swings and misses. And safe at second. You know, Schaefer did not have to go. That runner at first, less than 2 outs. Norris was going to be out either way, but Schaefer does get second base. Boy, it's been a bizarre inning.
That ball got just far enough away from Steve Clevenger. Schaefer has really good speed on the bases. Well, Barney tries to sell the fact he got the tag down quickly enough, but second base umpire Mike Everett not buying it.
Here's Bixler, the leadoff man, swinging and missing. Called strike 2. Like Schaefer's being given a stolen base.
I'm not so sure I agree with that call. He wasn't running initially, and the pitch was in the dirt.
Castro will spin, throw, and get him. What a play. Saved a run. Astros put the first 2 on, but do not score. Still 1-0 Cubs. Kind of looks like he just got off the golf course, doesn't it?
Pretty good chance he did just get off the golf course.
Well, stolen base for Schaefer. Advanced on a wild pitch. As the Astros blew a pretty good opportunity, 2 on, nobody out. De Jesus, Castro, and Rizzo against Bud Norris. Slider for a strike. The other way, and it'll be caught by J.D. Martinez.
Starlin Castro will be the next hitter for the Cubs. What a great play to end that last half inning. We've become so accustomed to see him make that play way up the middle of the field, make the catch, spin his back toward first base, and fire across to get the out. He makes that play look more routine than a routine two-hopper right at him.
One and nothing on Starlin Castro. One in there. And it's 2-1. There's Rizzo on deck. Norris working quickly. And a fly ball to center. Schaefer underneath. For this weekend, the Cubs hit the road. They go to Atlanta and New York, and then the All-Star break is upon us. It's going to be a hot trip. 4 nights in Atlanta. It'll be about 190 degrees southeast.
And humid.
And humid, yeah. And you will be starting the break a little early. Going to go catch some more Double-A Cubs action late next week.
Yeah,
we're looking forward to that.
Works out really well. Get a chance to see 6 consecutive Smokies games.
Looped in the left, but Martinez will make the catch. Dave Soup Campbell will be filling in for Bob a couple of games next week here on WGN. 1-0 Cubs.
Guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to www.wrigleyvillerooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF.
As the 0-1 to Brian Bogusevic, got jammed as he pops it up, and Barney with a flip downs. Ooh, really had trouble with the sun. Got the glove in the right spot. I think you're right, Bob. I mean, There's a lot of cloud cover today, but the sky is almost completely white.
Yeah, it's very glary, for lack of a better term. You look up there, and even though the sun is not shining brightly, it just seems like the entire sky is hyper lit this afternoon. Very, very bright to look up.
In there on Carlos Lee.
Well, that's what we're talking about. There's really not visible bright sunshine, but the entire sky seems to be lit up.
Matt Downs lost one in the sun early on. Hard to strike out this guy. Paul Maholm has faced Carlos Lee more than any other hitter in his career. This is the 56th at bat for Lee against Maholm, and he's only struck out 4 times in those ABs. Not going to strike out here as he hits a grounder right to Valbuena. 2 outs. Carlos Lee, Bob, with only 16 strikeouts all year in terms of plate appearances per strikeout. He goes about 3 or 4 games between punch-outs.
Doesn't strike out much, doesn't walk much. He's going to put the ball in play more often than not. And as I mentioned earlier, his batting average this season coming into play today at .291, well over his career average, but the power numbers way down for El Caballo.
Going inside to Martinez. The ground ball this time on a hop to Valbuena. Paul Maholm with a 1-0 lead going to the bottom of the 4th. Anything's possible moment. We go back to June 29th, 1897. The then Chicago Colts of the National League established a run record 36 against the Louisville Colonels. Cardinals would beat the Phillies 28-6 at the Baker Bowl in 1929 to set the modern National League mark. Anything's possible moment brought to you by the Illinois Lottery, who each day make anything possible. Outside corner for a strike. That's a big glove right there. Probably would not meet the MLB specs. Bogusevic and Wright retires. Soriano one away.
Yeah, another good this day in baseball history, at least if you like quirky this day in baseball history. Back in 1913, the Reds beat the Cubs 9-6. But the interesting thing about that ball game, they used only one baseball the entire game. No home runs hit out of play, no foul balls hit out of play. We can't get through one at bat without using several baseballs now. They played an entire game with one ball.
Sounds like me when I was 11 years old. 2-0 the count on Brian LaHare. Little bachelor party action on the Budweiser patio. Yeah, that or a prison break.
Yeah.
What the heck are they wearing?
What's the deal?
Members of Devo?
Correct that whip. Where's the flower pot hat, though? That's what we're missing. Yeah.
Chesty McChesty there. Yeah. Zip it up, fellas. Base hit. LaHare swinging away on 3-0. Brings up Steve Clevenger. Dave McKay will be in the All-Star game on Tony La Russa's staff.
This could be an unfair advantage for the National League this year, giving Tony La Russa all the time he needs to prepare for an All-Star game without the distraction of regular season games.
LaHare back quickly. Astros getting excellent starting pitching. Their last 11 games, their ERA right around 2. And with Norris back in the rotation, Brad Mills is going to go with a 6-man starting staff at least through the All-Star break. That's because rookie lefty Dallas Keuchel has been so good. He's allowed 1 run in each of his first 3 major league starts, including a complete game. Laced foul. Way in on the hands, and Clevenger with an emergency swing just to stay alive.
Well, some of the young starting pitchers that the Astros have, I don't think going to a 6-man rotation is really going to upset the apple cart that much, with the possible exception of Wandy Rodriguez, a guy, a more veteran pitcher who's used to working on that every 5th day routine. It might take a little adjustment on his part, but should be a minor adjustment. Guys are ball players in general, but specifically pitchers are very much creatures of routine. Those starters have a very definite program that they adhere to between starts, and adding that extra day in between will cause some adjustments.
Deep to right, Steve Clevenger. A two-run homer. Into the middle of that bachelor party for his first big league home run.
It's been tough for Steve Clevenger since coming back from that oblique injury to find the swing that he was using so effectively before the injury. Oh, this time got down and threw that ball. Tremendous carry to straightaway right field for his first major league homer.
3-0.
Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Really? Bixler makes a catch to retire Barney.
I mean, you come to the ballpark and you expect to see some oddities at the ballpark, especially a bachelor or bachelorette party. It can get a little unusual at times, but at some point this afternoon, they're going to leave Wrigley Field and be out on the street trying to hail a cab in their prison red jumpsuits.
And the middle will appear in Magic Mike, which comes out in theaters today. Want to note of Valbuena. He hit a home run to the opposite field in the second inning. And Steve Clevenger's going to want that baseball, first career home run. So I don't know what he has to give up. The next keg tonight, I'm not really sure. What will it take, sir?
I think,
how about a pair of civilian clothes?
I think next keg is a good way to put it.
3-0 now on Valbuena. Alex Walsh with a good point as he tweeted that Valbuena's BABIP, batting average on balls in play, under 230 going into today, and that speaks to what you said, hitting the ball hard throughout his short tenure here with the Cubs. These things sometimes tend to even out. Outside corner. Is it the end of the group, T-Bone, or is that his name? That's the question. 3-2. I think we found out probably as much information as we need to.
Probably.
3-2 pitch. And a fly to center. This will end the inning. Steve Clevenger with his first career homer, a two-run shot. And it's 3-0. That's right. Curious Bank. Member FDIC.
Look like Santa with his summer facial hair. You know, he trims it up a little bit when it gets hot.
Steve Clevenger with his first career home run. 1-1 to the catcher Snyder. Paul Maholm has his good sinker working today. He's getting a lot of ground ball outs. Cubs have won 4 home series openers in a row going back to late May. Leading here 3-0. Swing and a miss on a changeup.
A really good straight change to Chris Snyder. He's a guy that'll try to work a count in his favor and then ambush a fastball. That time Maholm crossed him up by throwing that changeup in a 2-1 count.
Time he held and a full count 3-2. Chris Johnson next.
Follows the changeup with a hard slider down and in. This time Snyder able to check his swing to run the count full. Wouldn't be surprised to see that straight changeup again here on the full count pitch.
Got him on a fastball. Now look at our forward upcoming Cubs schedule back here on WGN tomorrow afternoon. We'll wrap up the homestand on Sunday and then head off to Atlanta for 4 starting Monday night. Ford, manufacturers of more fuel efficient vehicles than any other brand. Check them out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. Third baseman Chris Johnson. Two base runners to this point for the Astros. Hit batter and a single. Both coming in the 3rd inning. Randy Wells has cleared waivers and has been outrighted to AAA Iowa. He has accepted that assignment. Ryan Dempster throwing long toss today. Felt good. Coming back from the lat injury. Hopes to be back shortly after the All-Star break. That spot opens up on Tuesday in Atlanta. Cubs have not made an official determination on who will get that start. Called strike 3. Casey Coleman and Chris Volstad have been mentioned as possible candidates. 2 outs. And stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch brought to you by Captain Morgan. Raise your glass, always in moderation, to life, love, and loot. Billy Pete, William Peterson will conduct the 7th inning stretch today. Matt Downs showing us his dance moves.
I'm just thinking William Peterson has thrown out the first pitch and been our guest up here for the 7th inning so many times. His name is probably on Fangraphs. How many percentages of first pitch strikes he's thrown as the guest conductor.
High fly ball to deep left. Soriano in the corner on the track to end the inning. Another 1-2-3 for Maholm, his 4th of the day.
Curious Bank, member FDIC.
The Cubs haven't had a ton of luck against Bud Norris. Came in with a 1.89 career earned run average, but they've hit a couple of homers today. Paul Maholm has been excellent. And Paul will lead off the Cubs' fifth. That's a strike. Swing and a miss. Bob Dong-Yub Kim, outfielder with the Boise Hawks. And the Cubs farm system used to throw with his right arm, but now has converted to a left-handed thrower due to a torn labrum in his right shoulder in 2010. He made the conversion this year in spring training. So for the last couple of months, he's been learning how to throw with the other arm. Hit a grand slam last night. But have you ever heard of a position player doing that?
I've never heard of anybody doing that. I mean, it's such an oddity when somebody can throw respectably with their off arm, but I've never seen anybody try to make the conversion from a right-handed thrower to a left-handed thrower.
We'll keep an eye on that. Jesus looks at a strike. David takes a deep breath, a long look at his bat before he digs in.
I've noticed that a lot lately, Len. It's almost like guys are using that like the swinging pendulum to almost hypnotize themselves before they get in that batter's box. Hey fans, check out the new Audi Legends Suite on the Nuveen Investment Suite level. Watch the game with a former Cubs player and listen to classic stories about life as a Cub. With a luxury food and beverage package and a unique gift for each guest, the Audi Legends Suite is the most exclusive way to watch a Cubs game. For more information, visit Cubs.com/suites.
Castro with a man on, one out. Late tonight, you'll have Mike Leake and Matt Cain in San Francisco as the Giants will look for their fifth consecutive shutout. Already a franchise record with 4 in a row. De Jesus runs. Castro bounces to Lee. Norris to the bag in time. Drinkcessory meets fantasy with the new chocolate chip frappe from McDonald's. Try a small for just $2.69. Many locations open 24 hours. Prices and participation may vary. A limited time offer.
And I want to send a shout out. You know what a big Mr. Blotto fan I am, and Mr. Blotto played the inaugural gig at the Haymarket Pub and Brewery on Randolph Street last night. Got a brand new sound system, a new stage, and Mr. Blotto broke it in last night. Big thanks to Peter Crowley and Steve Mosqueda from Haymarket. Had a great time.
Awesome. Here's Rizzo with a runner at second, 2 outs. Now the Giants have jumped past the Dodgers, who've lost 5 in a row, and into first place, sole possession in the National League West. Hard to lose when you never give up a run. Rizzo's going to foul out to Snyder to end the inning. Cubs lead 3-0 after 5.
team. And today we want to recognize Sunrise Chevrolet for their support of Glenside baseball and softball. Sunrise Chevrolet and your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers are supporting leagues and young ball players in their communities through the Chevy Youth Baseball program. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball.
6th inning. 1-0 the count on Jordan Schaefer. He has the only Houston hit. Single in the 3rd. Curveball outside corner. 1-1. Bunted by Schaefer. Mahalam will pick it up and get him. Tickets are still available for the 2012 Cubs season, including the next 2 games against these Astros, the last home games before the All-Star break. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office. The 6th inning pretty key for Mahalam, who, by the way, is making his 200th career start today. When he goes 6 or more, he's 4-1 with a 3.08. When he can't get through the 6th, he's gone 0-5 with a 9.82. And as you mentioned, he's trying to win his first outing since May 9th, which happened to be his 4th consecutive win, but has gone 8 in a row without one since. Three balls, no strikes on the pitcher, Norris.
Don't do it. I said the other day that this is one of Dale Swaim's pet peeves. This is any manager's pet peeve, walking the opposing pitcher, and the Cubs have done it far too often recently. There's another one.
And that's his first walk. Strike on a curve. The closer, Brett Myers, on the right. He has really struggled lately. It's quite a look.
That's a look.
That's trouble as DeJesus goes back. Warning track. The leap. The catch. Norris has to retag second, on his way back to first. Throw there past Rizzo, and it bounces out of play. What a catch by DeJesus. Norris will be given second base. Actually be given 2 bases. He'll be given third. No, he will be given second. Because you have to touch it first.
Yeah,
there you go. Got to touch second, then third.
Almost turned into an amazing double play as DeJesus goes up into the vines to make the catch on the drive off the bat of Brian Bixler. A little bit of communication there between Darwin Barney and Starlin Castro as David takes advantage of the shade out there. Looked like Barney was lined up to be the cut man to throw the ball back to first. Castro stepped in front, got off a strong throw, unfortunately low.
Bogusevic, fly ball right field, and Brian LaHare puts it away to end the inning. Still 3-zip. At 55 minutes after the scheduled first pitch due to rain. Been all Cubs since. Paul Maholm has been excellent. Steve Clevenger's battery made helping with a 2-run homer. Luis Valbuena homered also in the second. Visit your local Chicagoland Honda dealer today. Test drive a 2012 Honda Accord.
You saw David DeJesus with one quick last check to see how close he was to the wall. Was able to climb up there about 3/4 of the way up the vines to make the catch. If he was wearing a camouflage uniform, you wouldn't be able to see him.
Have to remember, he had never played a game here at Wrigley Field prior to opening day this year. And while he's played a lot of center field in his career, hadn't played there until what? A couple weeks ago. At least in this ballpark. So here's Soriano. 1 for 2, a single and a flyout. Low for a ball. Bud Norris, born in Green Bay, California, went to Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. It's a mouthful. 6th round pick in 2006.
Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, I'm pretty sure, is the alma mater of Ozzie Smith. Mike Krukow, our buddy out in San Francisco. Great baseball program there.
Kevin Correa, Garrett Olson, also alums. Cranked it deep left center for Soriano. Hello, Waveland. 3rd homer of the day for the Cubs. Number 355 for Soriano. What a blast.
Yeah, it really was. That was a no-doubter. 15th home run of the season for Alfonso Soriano. His second in his career against Bud Norris. Came on a low fastball. If Alfonso Soriano had to ask for a pitch, that was probably it. You could see the reaction of the Astros catcher. Chris Snyder just turned his back. Couldn't stand to watch.
The Cubs doing to the Astros what the Mets did to the Cubs Wednesday. Because you know the old adage, Bob, about the hydrant and the dog. Well, the Cubs might have been the hydrant on Wednesday, but not today. At least here into the 6th inning. That's the puzzling and also the great thing about baseball. It can change so much on a day-to-day basis. And the more you're around it, the more random you realize it is.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't seem to matter the opponent, the opposing pitcher that particular day. The wind conditions here at Wrigley. I mean, the wind was howling out the other day against the Mets. Cubs couldn't get a ball in the air.
Nope. Buena, Clevenger, and Soriano have all connected.
Everything down, 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 and this at bat from Bud Norris to Brian LaHair. I don't know if I'd classify Brian LaHair strictly as a low ball hitter. We've seen him handle some fastballs across the top of the zone. He handles off-speed pitches in the strike zone extremely well.
Sharply hit grounder, smothered by Downs, can't find it. Second hit of the day for LaHair.
Top spin grounder to that right side of the infield. Downs with a little bit of a late jump, but he got to the spot okay. Lost his glove as he made that diving attempt and then couldn't find it with the bare hand in time to throw on to first to try to get LaHair.
Here comes Brad Mills. Carpenter's up in the bullpen. Right now still playing catch in front of the mound.
We've seen this a lot from Brad Mills in his tenure as the manager of the Astros. He makes a lot of trips to the mound himself rather than Doug Brocail, the pitching coach. I guess he figures if he has something he wants to say or something he notices, why send an intermediary? Just go out there and let him hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
Cubs out hitting the Astros 7-1. A lot of it really depends on your starting pitcher, and the way Mahalam has looked today makes 4-0 seem a lot better than other days.
I think that's where some of the unwritten rule violations come in as well. And you know, as you said, it's a 4-0 game, which is certainly not out of reach for the Astros at this point, but feels like more because of the way Mahalam is pitching.
Ryan LaHare kind of ran right into Downs. It's a double play, 4-3.
Hey fans, don't miss the action as the Cubs battle the Astros at 3:05 tomorrow right here at beautiful Wrigley Field. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will receive Cubs wristbands, compliments of Cottonelle. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com.
Base is empty, 2 outs. Marnie breaks his bat as he lines to Johnson at third. Soriano with a long home run to make it 4-0.
Time to take a look at
What her name is. I don't know where she came from, what her game is. Hot child in the city. Hot child in the city. Running wild and looking pretty. Hot child.
That's Nick Gilder with Hot Child in the City, running wild, looking pretty. That's our Bud Fan Cam brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds.
Mahalam's 1-0 to Carlos Lee. He bounces to Valbuena. Lee has grounded out 3 times. A little more Nick Gilder.
I don't know where she came from, what her game is. Hot child in the city. Hot child in the city. Running wild and looking pretty. Hot child in the city.
J.D. Martinez out into deep center, and it's to Jesus. Right in front of the warning track. 2 away. Should mention Nick Gilder began his career in the band Sweeney Todd. That band later would have a young Bryan Adams.
Yeah, there you go.
There's Chris Snyder. Here's the 0-1 from Mahalam. Ground ball, third, fair. Bill Peterson with the stretch.
Today's guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, actor and producer William Peterson.
Let's do one for Harry. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back, 'cause it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's have a great summer.
As we get into the bottom of the 7th, then Bill Peterson with us, Chicago native, actor, producer, as we look at Fernando Abad, the left-hander on for the Houston Astros. Billy, always great to see you back here at Wrigley Field.
Thank you, Len. It's a pleasure as usual. It's like just great to get a game. You know, I'm in LA most of the time, and just to be here and to be able to do this with you guys is it's perfect. It makes it a perfect summer. 4-0.
How many times you've done the stretch?
Boy, I don't know. I'm not up there, I don't think, with Joey Montana yet, because any excuse to get a free ticket, he's here. But I don't know, a while.
Yeah.
It's been about 9 or 10 years. I didn't get to come last year. Many things happening, and I just didn't get to town.
Well, we were talking about your ceremonial first pitch. I think you have thrown more strikes than any other guest.
That caught the inside corner and would have been hit to Evanston. You would have hit it to Evanston.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Valbuena grounds out. 1 away, and Paul Mahalam, who's been terrific today on the mound, will get his 3rd at bat today.
I noticed right away, Bill, a little different look with the hair here.
I'm thinking of playing Queen Elizabeth next.
Dick Versace.
No, we're working on something out in L.A., and I'm not sure yet if it's going to happen or not, but I'm sort of just growing hair for it. I don't know what else to do. we haven't become a show yet for sure, so I'm just going to grow my hair and hope for the best.
Why not? 1 strike pitch to Mahalam. That's in there. I know you were just over talking to the radio guys, and we haven't talked to you since Ron Santo was inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Well, God bless that happening. Could have come a couple years earlier. But I'm just happy for him that it happened. I'm happy for Jeff. And God, he'll never be forgotten. Not in this town.
It's almost a daily occurrence. We think about what Ronnie would have said, how Ronnie would have reacted to something that happened, and we're always laughing by the hour.
I know. I was just saying to those guys that, you know, I used to go over. He played a golf course nearby where I lived, and somebody would call me, my dad or my brother would be out there, and they call me and they say, Ron Santo's playing out here today. And I'd literally ride my bike over there just to try and see him. I heard he hit the ball 300 yards, which back then was a lot.
He's a big hitter,
Yeah.
no doubt.
But he was my hero from the beginning.
Well, your first Cup game was maybe a month or 5 weeks after he made his Major League debut.
Yeah, he was at
1960.
third base.
Yep.
Billy Martin punched Jim Brewer in the face out on the mound.
So you thought baseball was a little like hockey.
Yeah, I thought it was prize fighting. Billy Martin was, out of his mind, this guy.
Did he throw the bat?
He threw everything, and then all of a sudden I saw the pitcher, and I was 6. So it's like when you start seeing men punch each other, it's like, and we were right behind the third base dugout because we were in Phil Wrigley's, my brother-in-law worked for Wrigley Gum. It was wild. And, I've been in love with Wrigley Field ever since, needless to say. Cubs didn't win many games that year. But turned it around. And we're turning this around.
Well, we talked about it earlier in the week. Against the Mets, the atmosphere here has been as great as always. Certainly the Anthony Rizzo debut has
That was cool.
gotten everybody excited.
It couldn't have been better.
That went into the left field corner. It's slicing, and it's out of play. You've got a big group here today?
I have 50 of my family, maybe more now, of my family here. We're having a family reunion in town. People, cousins, nephews, nieces coming from all over the country to spend the weekend in Chicago. And we got 50 of them down there in the grandstand.
That's awesome.
It's fun. Yeah, a lot of them are meeting each other sometimes for the first time. And, so I got to take my grandson out to the pitcher's mound to toss the pitch, so that was fun. Yeah, you can't beat a family party at the ballpark.
Good day for DeJesus defensively and offensively has 2 hits. Well, you haven't been on CSI in a while, but we should talk about it because it's a big part of your life for a decade, and what a franchise it has become.
It's, who would have thunk it? Anybody that tells you they know what's going to happen, lying. But, and it's still going. Ted Danson's in there now working his butt off trying to make it good. And, we're proud of it. We're proud of it. Mostly proud that all that crew is still getting to work. Keeping jobs in show business is not easy.
Right.
And so they have their job, and it's now enabled me to be able to do some free things, come here and do some theater.
Castro grounds out. William Peterson, always a pleasure. We'll check out that first pitch as we go to break. Enjoy your weekend.
Thanks, Len. Thanks, Bobby.
Follow the Cubs with the MLB.com @Bat12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text it back to 31826 or visit Cubs.com for details. Bob's still trying to patent the headphone mohawk, going from ear to ear. I haven't seen anybody do it yet.
It's a wave of the future.
Oh, 0-2 to Chris Johnson. Longest outing of the year to this point for Paul Maholm has been 7 innings. It was a 1-0 win over the Atlanta Braves on May 9th. That was his last win.
He's been very efficient with his pitches, as you see James Russell cranking it up in the Cubs bullpen just in case. Maholm just up into the upper 70s in his pitch count right now.
Swing and a miss. He got it. Well, when he started the game, he was on a Kerry Wood pace. Struck out the first 2 batters. That is his 6th of the afternoon.
And he's had a real good breaking ball. Both his curve and his slider have been working today. A lot more downward movement on the curve ball, a little more lateral movement on the slider.
2 of every 3 pitches have been thrown for quality strikes today from Maholm. Change up outside. Ryder Cruz is up in the Houston pen.
Fernando Abad snuck into the ball game before I had a chance to pronounce his last name backwards, which would be Daba. Look at Fernando Abad facing Lucas Duda. Daba Duda or Daba Adud? Boy, I'll tell you, Paul Maholm is just in a real good place mechanically today, Len. It seems very effortless. He's not working hard with his windup, doesn't seem to be overextending himself as he releases his pitches, and that could possibly explain why he's thrown so many strikes today. Everything working in unison.
Curveball was a hanger that time as Downs singles into left center. Time now to look at our BMW in-game box score, and pretty slow sledding for the Astros. Their 2 hits coming near the bottom of the order. For a limited time, get exceptional lease deals on a new 2012 BMW 3 Series. Visit chicagolandbmw.com for more information. Pitch to Schaefer. Just missed. Maholm wanted it. I think the key play in this game, I mean, obviously the 3 home runs have been big for the Cubs, but that caught stealing as Matt Downs tried to get third base with Bud Norris at the plate in the 3rd inning. That was the Astros' best chance to score. Kind of ran out of a threatening situation.
2 on and nobody out with the pitcher at the plate, figuring to put down a sacrifice bunt, and the Astros basically just ran themselves right out of the inning.
Called strike 2, 2-2. Soriano in left. Schaefer lines out.
New in 2012 is Cubs Authentics, the premier outlet for special MLB authenticated Cubs memorabilia. From game-used baseballs, bases, and jerseys to autographed bats and photos, Cubs Authentics has the most exclusive Cubs memorabilia. Visit the Wrigley Field Concourse, the Cubs store, or email CubsAuthentic@Cubs.com for all your Cubs memorabilia needs.
I want to give a shout out to the AA Tennessee Smokies watching us as they get ready for their game tonight.
How about a couple zeros early in the ball game, boys? Had some issues with opposing teams banging the ball around early in the game.
Switch hitting Jed Lowry, first year with the Astros after being acquired from Boston. 14 homers. Already tied for the second highest total for a shortstop in a single season in Astros history. Dickie Thon has the club mark, 20 back in 1983. And he has more homers currently than any shortstop in baseball. One ball and two strikes on Lowry.
You mentioned the Tennessee Smokies. For you Cub fans out there that can't get enough baseball in an afternoon matinee here at Wrigley Field, dial up TennesseeSmokies.com or watch their home games on the internet.
Gillespie with a call as Brian LaHare drifting over. Retires the pinch hitter Lowry, and the Astros done in the eighth. Just 2 hits given up all day by Mahalam through 8.
First replay of the game. During the rain delay, we showed you the Kerry Wood 20 strikeout game. Well, on May 18th against the Southsiders, the final strikeout of Kerry Wood's career. Tips his cap as he walks off the field here at Wrigley, accosted by a very small fan. What a day for Kerry Wood and Cubs fans everywhere. See what's possible with AT&T Uverse high-speed internet. AT&T, rethink possible.
Right-hander Reiner Cruz now working for Houston. Anthony Rizzo will lead it off. A happy 17th birthday, Paul Dipping of Arlington Heights, turning 17 today. Art Szymanski, happy 75th.
Got a Szymanski having a birthday. Dave Szyminski from the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department here at the ball game today with some friends.
Rizzo walked in the first, flied to the left in the third, fouled out to the catcher in the fifth. Two and 0. And a Fort Lauderdale, Florida native, Anthony Rizzo.
Well, we really haven't seen Anthony swing really come apart at any point in his brief time here at the major league level. But if you're going to see a big swing, it would probably be right now.
Pounds it on the ground, knocked down. Lee able to find it, throw to first in time, and Carlos Lee looks like that ball got him in a bad spot.
Well, I feel bad for Carlos. I feel worse for the trainer because there's really nothing you can do for this particular injury. You just have to wait for it to pass.
It's funny, as broadcasters, we tend to give a nervous chuckle when something like that happens, but it's really not funny.
No. Actually, a pretty nice play after the initial contact, able to stay with it. A submarine underhanded throw onto the pitcher covering first base. We talked about it before, Len. You know, being a former catcher, that was a particular injury that was very common. And when it happens, you have a brief moment where you tell yourself, well, that wasn't so bad. And then it comes on you like a tsunami. There's really, as I said, nothing you can do for it, just to wait for the feeling to pass. It looks like El Caballo is going to be all right. Bunt the ball to first. Very little chance of that happening with Alfonso Soriano at the plate, who launched his 15th home run of the season last time up. A blast out onto Waveland Avenue.
And takes a pitch high, ball one. Early high again, 2-0.
Saw Rizzo get into a 2-0 count, take a very aggressive swing. Unfortunately, just rolled over the top part of the baseball and hit that grounder to Carlos Lee at first. That time in a 2-0 count. Soriano taking a big hack. Another one on the 2-1 pitch.
Got a nice note from Donna Brookshire. Been a Cub fan for 54 years. Swing and a miss. He got him on a slider. For out number 2 here in the 8th, and it'll bring up Brian LaHare.
This is our first look at Reiner Cruz. He's got a real live arm fastball in the upper 90s with a little bit of movement. Late breaking flat slider to get a swinging strike from Soriano, that time for strike 3.
Happy 88th to Pat Garamoni. From your granddaughter, Julie, at the game today. In there, strike 1. Paul Maholm, 91 pitches, shutting him out through 8. Bullpen's quiet with 2 outs. Maholm has 5 career complete games. And his last one was here at Wrigley Field, May 28th of last year with the Pirates. 3-hit shutout. He has 3 career shutouts.
Well, I'll tell you, Len, it happens so infrequently. We're going to revisit it. Our Mazda drive to victory was to get Paul Mulholland back on track for the Cubs to win a ball game, and boy, has he been on track today. Outstanding.
Shallow left. Nobody will get to it. Brian LaHare has 3 singles.
Well, the late swing by LaHare got fooled a little bit by that particular pitch. Got jammed just a hair, which was a good thing because he's able to drop it just over the infield, just in front of Martinez out there in left field for a base hit.
He'll be lifted for Tony Campana, who will run for LaHare. And it's Clevenger. First career homer, 2-run shot in the 4th. There goes Campana. Called strike. Safe at second. Doesn't have any opportunities lately. This is his major league leading 25th stolen base.
Just had a ginormous lead over there at first base. He got both feet well beyond the cutout on the infield grass. No move to first. So Tony crosses over, goes into that head first slide at second base, able to hook the bag with his foot and stay on there.
Was tied with D. Gordon of the Dodgers. Mike Trout doing it all with 21.
Well, the difference is D. Gordon has stolen his bases in over 280 at bats this season. Tony Campana sitting at 145 going into play today. Gordon, an everyday player at shortstop. Tony at times has been an everyday player this season, but lately relegated to pinch running and late inning defensive replace work.
3-1. He walked him. Cubs will face lefties the next 2 days. Jay Happ tomorrow. Wandy Rodriguez on Sunday. And we'll be with you tomorrow, 3 o'clock Central Time. Foul. Lester Strode doing what every good bullpen coach does. He remembers who's been nice to me over the last 3 hours. That's why it pays to be pleasant, complimentary. Say, Lester, you look really young. How old are you? No way.
No
Really?
way. You look like you could be one of the players.
Right. Line to the shortstop, Bixler. Paul Maholm will try to complete the shutout when we come back. Paul Maholm, after a 55-minute rain delay, he's been as good as we've seen him as a Chicago Cub. Player of the game brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some buds. Starting the ninth, and that one just foul off the bat of Brian Bixler. New corner outfielders, Tony Campana's in left, and Reed Johnson is in right. Base hit into left. So a leadoff single, and here's Bogus Savic. You've got a righty and a lefty up for the Cubs. Marmol and Russell.
There's not another left-handed hitter in the Astros lineup until the 8th spot with Jordan Schaefer. Brad Mills does have a couple of left-handed bats available off the bench. Also has Jose Altuve from the right side.
I'm not sure if Altuve can give you a full at bat. Maybe could lay down a bunt, but with that strained hamstring, just not sure how available he is. A fly ball to right, and it's Reed Johnson backpedaling to make the catch. So one away, and now Maholm a pitch away if he can get a double play ball here as Carlos Lee walks up to the dish. It would be his 12th career win against the Astros, 21st career start. One and one.
Caballo's only grounded into 5 double plays all year, and mostly because he's more of a fly ball hitter than anything else. But for a guy that makes as much contact as he does, especially with 2 strikes, it's surprising that he's only grounded into 5 this year.
A 1-2 offering. Fair. Past Valbuena. It's going to rattle around in the bullpen, and bad interference called. So it's a double for Carlos Lee. I don't know if the ball boy down there got involved, thinking it was foul or not.
It's kind of confusing with a lot of bodies down there in that Cubs bullpen. You see them scatter to get out of the way. It looked like that ball did make contact with the ball boy before rolling back into fair territory, and hence the fan interference called by Paul Schreiber.
So that's it for Mahalem, 8 1/3, and the fans stand and express their gratitude for a fine pitching performance today. We'll be back. Carlos Marmol on. Foul strike on J.D. Martinez. A tying run is on deck. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out in the 9th. Cubs leading 4-0. It's Chris Snyder on deck.
Yeah, Marmol picked up his 100th career save Tuesday against the Mets, joining Randy Myers, Bruce Sutter, and Lee Arthur Smith as the only 4 Cub relievers to reach the 100 save mark.
Punched foul. Martinez 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Marmol. Chris Snyder on deck, 2 for 8, 3 walks, no strikeouts, and 11 plate appearances, and he has a home run. That's surprising, Bob, to see a guy in this league who has 11 chances against Carlos Marmol and hasn't struck out at least once.
We've heard hitters talk about getting that front foot down quickly enough. J.D. Martinez takes it to an extreme. He makes sure he gets that front foot down very, very early. Starts with a slightly open stance. And places that left foot down, gets his hands back into a hitting position, and waits for the ball to be delivered.
Cubs have implored Carlos to throw his fastball more often, and he has responded. He's thrown it half the time. Highest percentage of fastballs as the closer. Called strike 3 on a heater. Two down.
Well, it was surprising to everybody that he didn't use his fastball more often, because he's got a really good one. That last one at 96 may have brushed the inside corner for a called strike 3. I mean, that is a plus heater right there with a little bit of late movement. I think Carlos just had to be convinced that he had 2 quality pitches instead of just 1.
He just hit Snyder and has put the tying run at the plate. Slider got away from him. The bases are loaded.
It looked like he just tried to overthrow it. You saw where Clevenger was set up. That ball tailed up and in, hit Snyder right in the back.
That is Dallas Keuchel, starting pitcher. Pinch running for Snyder. Ball 1 to Chris Johnson. High 2-0. Slider strike 2-1.
Well, you'll get that kind of reaction from a lot of right-handed hitters when you throw a slider in an obvious fastball count. That time Johnson jumped out of the way. Very awkward defensive swing that time on a very similar pitch.
Line to Balbuena. Cubs win. With 3-1 on the homestand, Paul Mulholland with his